Okay, now we are starting with the circles of evaluation. Now, we've talked about with your functions, you have your inputs, which are called your operands or your domain, and that your output is the value of the expression, that is your range, and everything in between is your data. But how exactly does a computer handle functions? So you see here we have a very basic problem, 3 plus 5. So how would a computer see that in a circle of evaluation? So let's look at that. So we have our circle here. And the top here, this first piece, is what, even if you have Miss McManus in language arts, she calls this your do what. What am I expected to do? So what function, what mathematical operation, what is my operand? What am I needing to do? So this is, of course, it's an addition. So it'd say we're adding 3 and 5. Now notice your computer knows that the operand I am doing is I'm doing addition. The data, the string that I'm working with is 3 and 5. And my output would then be 8. Easy peasy. So let's try a couple more before I turn you loose on your own. So here's another one. So let's say we're doing a multiplication table. So we're saying, let's say we want to do 5 times 10. So how would we do that? So in our circle of evaluation, what is our do what? What function are we doing? Well, we're doing multiplication. And as you know, when you're on a computer, the multiplication sign is an asterisk. And you're going to put 5 and 10. So your do what is multiply. And what am I multiplying? I'm multiplying 5 and 10. And, of course, you know that your output would be 50. So what if it gets more complicated? Suppose you have a situation like this. You have 5 plus 4 times 6. Well, you've got to deal with your order of operations. Well, here's where you do that. First of all, you have your big circle, and your big do what is to add and 5. Then you put a subcircle in, tell the computer you have another thing to do, and you put your asterisks in, and you'd have the 4 and the 6. But let me move that up a little bit so that way you don't think I'm doing 46. Don't want to confuse anybody. 4 and 6. All right, so the computer would then evaluate this as saying 4 times 6 is 24. 24 plus 5 is 29. And you can get as complicated as long as you keep things in order. Suppose, for example, that I'm doing something a little bit more complicated. What if I'm doing this? So how does that work? Well, it's very simple. First, I'm going to do my first do what, and it's going to be square root. And for a computer, usually you have to put square root like that. Then I'm going to have another circle with the addition sign. And then another circle where it's going to be a square. And we'll have A. And my second square will be B. This tells the computer that first I will square A and square B, add that together, and then take the square root. As long as you remember that the operand, which is this piece right here, is what you're working with. This is your function. And as long as you remember that everything on this side of the circle is, your operands, what we call an expression. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you some to work on your own. See you in a little bit. Thanks.